Hey there, good morning, Gateway. Pastor Jeff here on my way into the office, and I wanted to let you guys know about this really crazy, really cool thing that happened yesterday. So we have our staff meetings on Monday, and we met early yesterday to talk about some calendar stuff, kind of looking forward to, this summer and the fall and whatnot. And we're in the middle of our meeting, which was earlier than normal, and our meeting was in a different location. We met out in the lobby yesterday, and all of a sudden, from where I'm sitting, I see somebody walk in the front door. And this individual is not somebody that I know. This guy has a paper bag with him. He's got a hat on, and he walks in, and I stand up and go meet him, and it's a guy who had just come out of the jail across the street. His name is Lewis, and he was waiting for his sister to come by and pick him up and then take him back up to Duluth. He had served a couple of weeks worth of a sentence. And usually, we don't often have people that come by from the jail anymore. We used to, actually. Pre-COVID, we used to have more, but we don't usually have a ton that come by. And so Lewis comes by, but instead of asking for handouts or whatever, he comes in, and Lewis is this guy that just loves Jesus. And at some point before he had gotten in trouble, the Lord had met him and had really transformed his life. And he's involved in this super cool ministry up in Duluth that works with people that are addicts and that are homeless and all this other stuff. So I say that to say this. We were in our meeting, and all of us were there on the staff team, pretty much everybody was there. And we were in the middle of a fairly significant, time of planning. And yet this guy walks in and gives us this really incredible level of encouragement. He stayed for like an hour, and it was just this really cool opportunity to be blessed and be encouraged. Now, when things like this happen, and they happen to all of us, what is our reaction? When God has a moment for you, what do you do? I think sometimes it is my tendency to blow right through those moments and to say, it's great that Lewis came by, and I wish him the best, and hey man, we're kind of in the middle of a meeting right now, so take a cup of coffee and get out of here. Not that you'd ever say that, but that's kind of the way we act. At least that's sort of the way that, it works in my mind sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm too busy for this. But if we had been too busy as a team to recognize that God had a moment for us, we would have missed it. I think about the times that Jesus was in his ministry, and he's surrounded by these guys who are all excited about the coming of the kingdom of heaven. Most of them thought that Jesus was going to be a political savior, understood. And yet Jesus so often takes these intimate moments with people who were seemingly nobodies, seemingly down and out, and he ministered to them. And I just think it's so important for us that we make an intentional effort to slow down and open our eyes and our hearts to the moments that God has for us. And, I know everybody's busy. I can say definitively that I'm busier than I've ever been, just with stuff, and a lot of it's stuff that in the end is probably less important than other stuff. But do I create the time in my schedule and in my life to allow God to interrupt me? And I think that that's a good question to wrestle with today. Do you create space for God to interrupt you? And if you don't, what could that look like? What does it look like to start your morning off by saying, Lord, I'm ready for you to interrupt me today? Or to set an alarm on your phone, or to take your lunch break and pray, or to just try to open your eyes in a new way, you know? And I think when we ask God to do that, for one, I think he'll do it, but for two, I think he's going to bless us in some really cool ways if we do. And so that's my encouragement for you today. You know, nothing too scripted, nothing too crazy. I'll come and talk to you again on Thursday, but I just thought that it was really cool that, that God gave us as a team that moment yesterday with Lewis. And if you think about it, pray for him. You know, pray for Lewis, pray for Ruth's House. That's the name of their ministry up in Duluth, in Superior, you know, kind of where they're ministering to people that are down and out. And so, anyway, God bless you. Love you. We'll see you later.